Quick reminder on risk, everyone. This talk is intended for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors. Did want to go into SPY here. Not really not much to add here from our last session. I believe it was November 2nd. So that's gonna put us around right around the 460, 461 is where we were trading. The call, or the analysis rather, at that time 2 weeks ago was for a test of the 470 fib, or potentially a pullback into the fast MA, which is going to be either the 5 or 8 MA. Now we kind of saw a flip of that. We saw the move into 470 and then the pullback back into that 461 area. Now we're back at highs, so not a lot of progress, pretty much just sideways. As far as expectations for the next couple of weeks, I would say utilize this 461 area as a reference point moving forward, and then just start going for 480. Seasonality, we are bullish into end of the year. Mid-November tends to be a little bit slow. That could be some of what we are seeing now. And then through the end of November through December, it's just like pure bullishness as far as seasonality is concerned. So just some things to keep in mind there. I remain pretty bullish here at this point, unless we start to take out that 460 and then the 21 MA, just always keeping those as reference points.
Yep.
So that is SPY. Mario, go ahead and hand it off to you for the cues and all the rest. You should have host now.
Yeah, I got it. And you can take it back now.
Okay.
Let me just. So everybody ready for vacation now? I hope you guys are, because I am. So that's probably the seasonality that Kyle is talking. Like, I'm really bad. Like, guys, I pray and I praise volume trading all the time. That's what I do. That's something that I started doing probably like 3 years ago when all of these new indicators came out, or at least for me, because I didn't know them before. And I started working with them very closely. So I'm always talking about volume. Price is just half of the equation, if you're gonna put it like that. So it's always the tape. The tape is always price action. That's what you want to see. Price action is price and volume. So just price, like I said, price is not a strategy. Calling a price is nothing. We gotta be able to read behind the action of the actual buyers and sellers, right? Exactly. So having said that, I expect the market to probably start slowing by Thursday afternoon. Probably Friday is gonna be slow. I usually don't trade that week, or if I trade, I trade like probably 10, 30, 11 tops, but I won't be spending too much time. So make sure you adjust whatever it is that you've been planning to do. Is a good time to do it. Review your plans for next year, strategies. Make sure you check your OMCs. That's what it's called, right? The Option Mastery course. Read it, guys. I read all the time. That's why I'm always posting to you guys, because I think I know what an uptrend is, but sometimes you'll be surprised the kind of things we do in the heat of the moment. So make sure you review all your things and everything. Okay, let's start with the meat of what we're here to do. So what we're looking for, again, is structure. That's all I do, guys. Where's the buyers? Where's the sellers? What's the highest reward to risk trades that we can take? What themes are worth our attention, because they can give us 10, 20, 15, 20, 30, 40, 25%, 40%. That's what we're doing here. I'm not going to be calling like scalps intraday, because that's what we do during the day. So this is a time just to focus on the big picture and try to see where is it that we're going, so we have a good frame of reference to work with. So having said that, this is our last meeting right here, guys. 11.2, we were at all-time highs, and I think Hassan, he sent me a note and he said like, wow, that was pretty cool. So all-time highs by the highs. And I say, yep, momentum trading. That's all the call was, like pretty much the main call for the last hangout. And it did make sense. I have my notes right here that we trace these Fibonacci projections, and we have a target of 402.61. We nail it 1 to 3 days later at 401, right? So don't call me on $1 because it's a $400 move. So that's like less than like a 0.25%, 0.25 or 1%. So that's target for me.
Close
okay
enough.
Yeah, close. We cannot get any more closer than that, to be honest, guys. So 401 right there, that was it. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Pretty simple. Here's how we have to approach this. When you see this, you trade momentum, plain and simple, over the high, over the high, over the high, no highs. Where's the volume? So. And here's the change. So we call this one a red candle signal. And I think we posted. So this was a good short that we executed well. How do we know that? Well, you trace a fib, and then you know that at least a 23% return, which is nothing in an uptrending structure, could take you down to 389. We nailed that one. I think we went 387.50. So that was like a great trade right there too. So now, since you're a good trader as far as the technicals, you should know that at that point in time, you have to consider what's going on in the daily. So what's going on in the daily is you have a massive up move to new all-time highs, significant new all-time highs, because the prior high was here. So we make significant all-time highs. So you should see some profit taking. This is the profit taking. You have the profit taking next day. Now you put a sort of a button right here, and this is what we call a buy setup. Why is it a buy setup? Because we're still in the uptrend. A buy setup, like the way I use it, the way I was taught, the way I was trained to do it, requires you to be in an uptrend. If it's not an uptrend, then call it something else. We call it a reversal. We call it a base break. We call it whatever it is. But when it's in an uptrend down to the 20 MA, pretty much to the 8 MA, that's a buy setup. So it's basically a bullish signal. And the target should be target 1, since it's only 23%, we should be testing the new all-time highs. So we're right there. I was surprised by the move today, but I think we can have another 1% to go. Now, where do we go from there? So this is where the call goes, and I go to my weekly chart, right? This is my monthly, not as clear, but my weekly chart is putting one of the strategies that we like to do too. And this is sort of a 1, 2, 3. The problem is we don't have the volume right here on the break, right? So it's not really a 1, 2, 3. I'm going to call it a base. So basically what we have is a weekly breakout play once we go over 401. So going back, and this is a call for the Qs, we're going to continue trading the 397 for momentum into the 400, 402. Once we go over 402, we go for the extension, right? So I think it's 402, and then 5% from there will be like 20. So we should be testing like 415, 420, okay? 415, 420, that could be like the target for any run, any Santa Claus rally that we can have. So now the challenge, or the thing that we want to see, is like what stocks are benefiting from this massive uptrend that we're having in the markets, like the Qs, right? So let's go with the big caps. So let's start with the Apple. And Apple, I always make jokes about it, that it's like dead money, and we're still there. So basically, how do we approach Apple? It's like, I go to a weekly chart and try to make sense of that. You can call this one a breakout trade if you want from here, but I think that, I mean, we've been in the same thing for, I say 2 months now, 141, 151. So I think today was having some good action, but nothing really worth it. Like if you want to go into Apple, I'm going to call it 153, 157, and then 160. But it's like no call for me. So I'm not going to take any credit if Apple actually moves. So then we go to Amazon. And Amazon, I think the last time, well, I'm not going to go over the last time. I'm just going to do it. I think it's faster just to go through the charts. So this is the thing with Amazon, is still in a sideways. Look at the bigger picture again. It's like up, and then it's sideways right here. So buying in here, you run the risk of buying the top of a wide range, right? Which I usually don't do, but I'm liking this formation. So what I'm gonna call is I'm gonna call probably a breakout play, more like a breakout play. I think we have the 3,500 call the last time. So for now, what I wanna see is I wanna see momentum. I wanna see the Qs breaking to all-time highs and this thing better move, right? So 36 for 38 in Amazon, right? Pretty simple, nothing complicated right there. All we're doing is we just trying to take the first leg out of this massive sideways accumulation. So we're going from here to here, nothing spectacular, but if you see it and you get a good entry, it's probably worth a shot. Let's go with the Microsoft now. Microsoft is like the market, little stronger, right? So this one's leading. We can see it. We can see it on the weekly chart. We already trigger, right? The formation. We don't have the 1, 2, 3 either here because the volume, it was not even above average. So what I'm looking in here is this is pure momentum. You guys know how to trade this one. So 341 for 360, I guess it is, right? Don't want to spend too much time on this one because this is like a momentum call and it's going to change the moment that we start going under the 335. That's what we have. Now, remember guys, I do a lot of work with the market profile. So for me, I have a base right here that I can use as my support. So for no reason, I want to see this one breaking 331. Once I start seeing under 331 into the Microsoft, then I'm going to start looking for a reversal to the mean, probably to the 313. Okay. So as long as we stay 340, if you maybe, well, we don't know, right? We should write it down on the 330 for 313, right? Just in case the market decides to finally break or break down, to put it that way. Let's go to Netflix now. And this is one that we've been looking, pretty simple. Look at the 690, hasn't triggered yet. So what was a better trade for this one? If you go to the weekly chart, not really. I was going to say that this was a buy setup. Let me look at the monthly now. Let's see if the monthly is showing us something, just a massive continuation of the move that we have right here. That was a breakout play that we played in here, the 500, 600, all the way to 700. So that's in play. So what we're seeing here is just a pullback similar to what we saw in the market. This is an uptrend. As far as I can tell, this is a daily uptrend that we're here. So we came back. This is a pivot. We tested the prior high. So that's the pivot. And then we started coming up with the market, right? So that was like 2-3 days ago. This is a good igniting bar right here. Look at the volume right here. So we have the second day, not a perfect 1, 2, 3. So I didn't take it, right? This is not a perfect 1, 2, 3. We went over. So you know how I trade that one. So what I'm looking now is a 691. Now 691 should take us to, let's see. I encourage all of you guys to just do this because it's simple. Right? You don't need to be asking me or Kyle for targets. So you can see 705, 723 for 705, 723 for Netflix, right? So Netflix, I think this is a must watch over 691, 705, and 723. I think that was close enough. So 691, I like this one. Let me put my yellow color. So that means may go tomorrow. So my highlighter, just in case it goes tomorrow. So we're ready for Netflix, get paid. Let's go to Google now. And for Google, we have the massive move past the earnings right here with the volume. So that's the main, let's say that's the candle that is controlling this move. Look at the monthly. So this is a bullish engulfing pattern. So over 2960. And that's exactly where we are, right? So we haven't even traded over like a clean break over that day from the earnings. So we're still there. Let me look at the weekly. Let's see if we see something different from there. On the weekly, something that we should be aware of. Not really. I mean, massive accumulation right here. This is a weekly buy on Google. And the daily, so we need to take this one just plain and simple on momentum. So I want to see it. I want to see it showing me strength. So strength means it needs to show me volume when breaking to new all-time highs. So 30, 13, 30, 15. So that's GOOGL over 30 3015. Let's call it 3015. That's a buffer because I don't want everybody getting trapped right here because they bought 320, 3012.31, and then the open Chase paid the more expensive implied volatility, and then it dropped. So that's what I use the buffer, right? Likely, if we see it, it's going to be making a new high pre-market. So the entry will be the pre-market high. Now let's go to the metaverse. This is our new list or new way to put it together. So of course we have the Meta Platforms company, FB for now. So what we have is we were working, I think this was a weekly buy setup that we called at the 200 MA right here. That's the entry. So this is target one, guys. Plain and simple. 350, you go along from here, from 320, wherever you got it. 350, you take some profits off, right? Now, where do we go from here? The problem with this one that I have is if I go with my FIPS, right? This is just a way to tell you that it's not something that I'm taken out of a hat. Basically is like we pulled back a little bit too much, almost like 55-60%. So it's going to have some trouble going back into all-time highs. So we should be starting to monitor this one right here. What I expect to see is like if I see momentum again right here, 355, 360, we'll probably make a run to 380, and that's when I'm going to start taking profits unless the tape is telling me something different, right? The tape is going to be telling me something different if I start seeing volume coming in and more aggressive, and probably these volumes in here growing higher and higher, because this is what we have. This is a 330. Look at the volume right here. So we have a solid base right here, the 341, 342. I think we did this trade a couple of days ago, this one, and then we traded the next day. Today, I had it as a momentum trade. It didn't trigger. So this could be something sort of a reversal, 350 to 360 for a quick move in Facebook, right? So 350 to 360. But I think I posted today too that we are inside a range, a bigger range. The bigger range is 340 to 360. So if I see it at 340 and holding, I'll probably be nimbling into that, for longer term positions. I know some of the guys are in the name. So that's probably a good entry, right? Tight risk right there, 340. Your stop is like 336. We're working with this level right here, 341. So you can give it like literally like 1% stop on the underlying, of course. So that's Facebook, just an idea right there. Then we go to NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to have earnings tomorrow, right? Is it today, tomorrow? Tomorrow. So what I was looking for NVIDIA is like, I love the pattern. I love the pattern. Look at this. This is something I love. Look at this, right? And this is all-time highs. So that means that, look at the volume. So all of this volume, guys, is translated into this. So it's either these guys are buying. So we're going to come like probably 360 as a target. Hopefully, they're going to gap it up to 324, 326, 330 tops, and we can ride it 330 to 360, right? Or are they seeing NVIDIA as a short and they're liquidating the longs from 208? I'm going to make a call right here. I think this is accumulation for a new all-time high. So that's my call. Don't bet on it. If you don't play the earnings, don't start doing it on my call, please. This is just for illustration purposes only. Check out the 310. Now, can we go 307 to 320 tomorrow? Probably into the earnings call. So needless to say, I'm going to be watching NVIDIA, and the call is basically 323 for 360. Keep in mind, that's target one, and that's over earnings. So that's all I'm gonna say. NVIDIA. So let's go to Roblox, because they're saying that this is like metaverse too. Look at the monthly chart, guys. Doesn't get any better than that. Doesn't get any better than that. We talk about this monthly buy, weekly breakout play to all-time highs, 85 to 90 range. And we finally got the news with the earnings, massive move, right? That day, So we have the move from 90 to 110. Then we have another entry right here, the 100, 100. These are the targets. I think we hit the target 2 today at 120. So where do we go from here? I think I'm gonna have to expand this one right here. So let me just put another one, the 216. It doesn't even appear. Do you know what the next one is, Kyle? Because I think it should be like in the 150s, right? For Roblox.
Fib?
Yeah, the next fib, because I don't know how to if without messing my chart. Like the 261, what is it? Like 150? And what I like about this one,
140.
140. Okay, so that's the target, guys. So we're going 120, 140 for Roblox. So Roblox, here's the thing, guys. This is a setup we know. This is a monthly buy, right? We're into that. We have the news, pull back. Look at the setup right here. Almost to perfection right there. So once we take the 110 today, this is a go for momentum, right? And don't be shy. You can make 115, 120, and we hit them, right? That was news. There was news today. So what I'm gonna be looking is the 110 must hold. Now I want to check how the 114 worked today, right? 114, 114. Let me just double check. I'm gonna do something right here pretty quick, so to give you some ideas. So 113.48. Here's the 4 hours. You can use the 4 hours as a momentum trade, right? So what we're gonna call right here is like 121. I'm gonna call it 121 for 145, they say, 140, the fib, right?
Yeah, it's 140.
140, provided we don't lose 114, right? So I'm looking at the 4 hour chart, right? Of course, I'll look at what we like. Here's a breakout play. Here's a big move. So that's big number one. It's higher than average volume. So for me, that counts as one. This is number two, lower volume, right there, consolidation, 121. I take it for 140. Okay, that's how I do like some of the game planning that I do, right? Because sometimes when we stick here, we don't see it, right? Unless you're trained and have a lot of screen time, basically, you're going to be able to see it a little bit faster. But basically, at Roblox, we're going to be looking. So any pullback into 114 that holds, that, I'm not telling you to do that if that's not your style of trading, but I'm going to be looking at the 114, 110. And then once we start seeing the pull, I'll probably go for 140. So that's the Roblox play right there. So we got play 114 on a 4 hour chart, 121 for 145. Now, there's another one that I saw it on TV. These guys are telling that this one is Unity software. Apparently, this is like for Meta. So I just added to my list. Haven't traded yet. Don't know how it trades. I don't know the options, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. So we start gonna start looking. So let's do the AMD.
That goes in the monthlies only list.
Okay, so it goes into monthly. So let me put it down right here. The U. So probably they're just gonna start doing what once they do more volume, I guess. So let's look at AMD. Similar to what we saw in NVIDIA. Look at the volume right here. NVIDIA is a little bit more tight, right? Because they're waiting for, of course, they're waiting for the earnings announcement. Check this, right? Then we come into AMD, and that's where it is. So we have a lot of volume right here in this zone. So I think we called today 154, 155. We didn't get quite there, but this is absolutely a monthly breakout on a bullish stock, uptrending base, new high, another consolidation, you want to call it, and then we off to the races again. So we can go 155, probably that one's going to go for 170. So I'm going to keep the call 150, 155 as a range over 156, which is all-time highs, for 170. And I was trying to do this one on the back of NVIDIA. So I think we did that one today. I think Carly was with me on this one. Pretty good one, pretty decent trade. that we did right there. The other one that is metaverse, I don't know why, probably because of the chips in the phones and everything, was Qualcomm. So this is pretty simple, guys. We have the massive, I think we talked about this tradable range last time. So we have the 126 right here, and we got the 166, right? So we're trying to get into this one, right? The monthly was a 140 monthly buy, which is like right here, right? And I said we buy, it's not really a buy setup, but it's a monthly buy based off the bottom of the range. So you go long 140s, that's where you enter if you're playing into earnings. If you're not playing into earnings, then we have the 152 right here, and then you start looking at the same pattern right here. What we have is like, we have the exact level right here, 170. I think it was 169 something, so 170 was safe. So we off to the races. Where do we go from here, right? So some patterns, you have to know how they're forming, right? Because what we have is, look at this massive run from 57 all the way to 167. That's 300%. So it took like literally the whole year for this thing. Then when it looked like it was going to break down, actually some people actually shorted right here, 122, right? We come back, we put the good news. There's some catalyst. Apparently it's metaverse now. So we off to the races. That's what we love to do. So where do we go from here? 150. This is pretty shallow as far as the pullback. So I'll say we go I think I have the target of 190 and 200 for Qualcomm, right? And this is just going to be Momo, right? Over 183, 185 for 190 and 200, right? That ends my selection of what I've gathered that people are calling metaverse these days. Although everything is going to be in the meta, apparently Apple is going to be in the meta, Microsoft is going to be in the metaverse, everybody's going to be in the metaverse, but these are the ones that got actually like getting hot because of that. Let's do payments, if you don't mind me, which we're looking at the PayPal, and I think I explained that I was looking at the capitulation move. This is capitulation move. This is, let's start with the monthly chart, right? So we understand where we are. So if you come right here into the monthly chart and you come and you do your basic fib, the fib, what he's going to be telling you is like how strong or how deep, how important was the pullback, right? So you come right here and you see that we tested the 50% retracement right there at 200. So you can see it right here, right? So that's number one. In case you don't see it, you put it, pretty simple, then you take it out if you see it, right? So I know like 200 is going to be a level. And if you don't see it just by the fibs, because remember the fibs is just subjective. Somebody just decided that it was a calculation, whatever. What I like to see is like this formation right here. We know this formation is bullish. Why? Because it was up. Then we did the base and then we take into new all-time highs. So I know there's people in here. There was some volume involved in here. So 200, let's see how they react to that. So I wasn't watching the stock that day, but yeah, right there, 200. And we try to break down here. Now we break 200, then we go for 61%. So we go to 175. That's why you see my alerts right here, because I was like, there's no way to know if this one's going to stop at 60, at 50%, or we go further into the pullback, right? However, there's an element right here that we have to take into consideration. Well, number one, there's a catalyst. So we gap down into possible support on massive volume, and they couldn't take it down. So for me, that's what we call capitulation. Likely, we have seen the bottom at least for a while. Now, when you come right here, you want to compare and you want to say like, wow, is that big enough, the volume? Well, we were trading basically 8 million shares. We did 70, so that's 10 times. And even when we start hearing all the bad news about PayPal, we were doing like on a good day, like here's the average. It's called this average. Even the best average of the highest volume for the year, the best average was like 26. So we were doing 70 million. So that's like 3 times the highest average of the highest for the year. So that's like, I mean, they couldn't break it down. This is an anomaly, guys. You see a big move on big volume and they couldn't make it lower. So that's a safe place to take a bet. So this is pretty much when we started calling the reversal trade right here, the 208. Now we're at the 215. We took the prior day highs. We took the, I'm sorry, the gap down day highs. So all we see when I come into my tools, because this is all they are, they just tools, all I see is that I can hit probably the 228. So for PayPal, and please write it down, it's a reversal, because I trade reversals very different from what I trade uptrend is, right? When I'm in an uptrend, I don't care. I just leave it there and see how crazy they want to get with that one, you know, because we don't know where it's going to stop. But when it's a reversal, what's the meaning about reversal? Like we go in counter trend, number one. And number two, you're going to have a lot of resistance to the going up. So when you start coming in here, there's a lot of people that exited or got killed in here. So probably once they go back to break even, they were betting on this one over earnings. So they're going to be like, you know what? I just want to take my 10% pullback and I'm back to break even. Let me kill it. That's the reason why. So people call it like, oh, the gaps, so they all feel, well, in this case, we may see it. So that could be a good trade, good for 10 points. So reversal, 215, 225, and we could see some extension based on how we trade. So here's when I change my targets, right? I'm long, let's say 215, I get to 230, and then I start seeing like the volume is like 5 point something arbol. So there's like 5 times the normal average volume. Why will this stop there if people are buying and still paying out? Immediately I'll be like, oh, next one is 245. And don't call me crazy, but it's just here, 245. So now you know what to do, 245. So that'll be, if we close over 225, 227, we go 227 to 245, okay? Just a little into what we do in the traders think tank, because it's not esoteric. We're not guessing. We're not just throwing numbers over there to be funny or no, it's based on technicals. So we go to a firm, right? For a firm, what we have is like 3 massive months going higher. That little peak right there, 176 on no volume. Check it out. No volume. So we know better than buying a breakout to all-time highs on no volume, right? So that's what it is. And then we came with the news, gap down, the 50 MA, horrible. This is supposed to be a bullish gap, but they opened it too high. So right at resistance, so that's bearish. So where are we for this one? I think we need to wait a firm for 170. We have a clear range. I don't want to call it 130 because I think that's too low and that's not looking at this base right here. So I'll say 150 to 170 is a range. We can trade 170 to 178 if you want to do it. I'm sorry. So 150 to 170. We can trade 170 to 178, but the trade I really want is the 178. I don't know what the news is with this one. I don't know if people are going to continue using this. Really don't see the innovation so far on this one, but anyways, like 178, 178, 200 is the next normal target, right? So I think we got that one down. I know Square was having a good day yesterday. So this is another one, sort of a reversal, right? However, I don't call this one the downtrend. As far as if you come and you look at the monthly chart, all you see is like, oh, we're sideways. You know, we've been sideways a whole year, but it's still sideways. It's not a downtrend. So what we have right here is like, you see my line right there. I don't know what I was doing yesterday or today, but I totally missed the trade. So this is like 227, 230, right? Target one should be 243, 246. So that one is going from there. Same problem, although it's not a reversal, we're inside range, right? So my reference points for the range are 247 and 270. So Square, I'm gonna call it 230, 250, 270. And I'm gonna assume that anybody trading it understand how to trade or has a good strategy that he can deploy or she can deploy when trading ranges. You got to know how to trade a range. So if you know how to trade a range, you know where to enter, where to exit. Exactly. I'm just going to give you 230 as a base, the bottom, 250 is a reference point, which is the point of control. 270 is the top of the range. So we got like 40 points there to play with Square. A little bit run through the chips. We already talked about the main ones, which is NVIDIA and AMD. Now let's check an MU, because this one's one that is trying to, this one, I remember and check your notes, what we called was the monthly buy, right? It was not perfect. And again, I'm doing it today because I'm feeling like I need to work through the basics a little bit right here so we understand each other, right? So we got it right here. We got a pullback right at the 50, 60%, right? A little bit too much for my liking. So I don't expect it to make a new highs, but 85 could be a good target, right? So it's a monthly buy. That's one of the things I'm doing. And when we come into the daily, right, your ideal entry will be, if you're doing a monthly buy, it should be 7150. 7150 could be like around here, right? I think it was this was the point, like the 50 MA, we call it from the 50 MA to the point of control. And this is again, on a daily chart, similar to what we just saw on AMD, right? So if you're trading at range, you should be long 70, your first target is 76. I think that's what we call 74. And the next one is 80. You see it right there. Now, when it gets really interesting is when we start getting it over 80, right? Over 80, we regain the 200. A lot of people consider the 200 to be one of the main indicators of a stock being in an uptrend or a downtrend. So as long as you're trading under the 200, you're supposed to be in a downtrend. Now, the thing is, like, we already regained it to 50. Now we're aligning with the 20. So we got the 20 and the 50 in alignment. We're over the point of control. So all we need is to break the 200. So we can absolutely intraday scalp trade this 178.80. That'll be number one. Let me go into weekly because I want to check the weekly. And the weekly, we have some resistance right here. This big red bar and this pivot right here. You can see it here. If you don't see it here, you can see it here. So we got levels right here, 75, level right here, 82. So let's say 75 by 82 on MU. Once we go over 82, we go, oh my God, that's gonna put us probably into the 90s. Yeah, 86 and 90. That's looking good. We just go back into the daily because I know the guys posted, we have a trade in the topics, which is already gone. I mean, it's already going. I'm sorry, not gone, but going. So this could be a good place to add. 80 is a 10% move, guys. 80 to 85, 86, 88, that could be good. So keep that one in mind. We may have an opportunity to add or initiate trades, those that are little or didn't get it first. Taiwan Semi. And this one, I was waiting for a breakout play, the weekly, same trade, 125 weekly breakout play, just to have another semi over there. I don't know how it trades actually. So over 125 is a weekly breakout play, right? So here's what I'm calling, guys, so we all know what we're doing. This is a massive accumulation, hasn't done pretty much nothing. Last week, so a little bit of a volume. Look at the massive squeeze right here. So it's a 21. So whenever we start seeing this thing going, we break 125. We're not going to stop at 130. I'm going 142, 160, most likely. Okay. So that could be a big trade that we still have. Okay. So that's Taiwan Semi. Let's do the China just because they're going to be reporting tomorrow, right? So yeah, now no call in Chinese. Let's go to the EVs, and I added Rivian, of course. I don't know when we're gonna get the options, but that's just an IPO just went crazy. So we're up 74%, or whoever's long that them. So that's Rivian. Let's do the Tesla, right? So a lot of things, a lot of noise about Elon and the selling and all that stuff. And now he's bringing the stock down. And I say, no, I think it's the technicals, guys. Here's the technical. So we have this monthly point of control again. We have the pullback right here. I know it's boring, guys, but this is how we make the money. If we find this stuff, we do it all the time, all over and over and over and over and over again. You buy it right here, you sell into the highs. So we here, 1243, 1243. We said 1040. We wanted it short to 1040, or we wanted to see the pullback to 1040. I think we got it right here, 1026. Another day. So this looked like we were gonna bounce, right? The problem is like they gap it up. So you don't buy a gap up into a red bar with massive volume. That's actually a short, right? So we made a new low yesterday, technically under 1,000, right? So what I wanna keep an eye is because here's a red, bought the following day, then there's a red, and then today we have sort of a, that's less than, yeah, that's a 90% volume. So what I have to do, so I'm gonna have to go into my weekly chart. So what I wanna see is a weekly buy, right? Now, when we talk weekly, we can see that we have a massive accumulation. Some people call this a base. It's not a base with a handle, or what is a cupping handle, because we didn't have the handle. However, can this be the handle? Right? So that's basic what I'm going to be doing. I'm not calling it a cupping handle because I know that there's a lot of implications for me to call that one. We should have like a lot of volume right here, X many weeks going. But what I'm saying is, like, if you have a massive breakout play, what do you expect after a massive breakout? A pullback and retest of the break point. So as long as we don't break the 900, right, this one will remain as a watch on my list, right? Where I'm gonna buy it, I'm not gonna be buying at 1100, right? Unless we start seeing like more time and more accumulation, a lot of volume right here. I wanna see these guys that bought it right here start buying right here. So if they have the power and the money to buy it right here, then I'll buy with them. But I'm not gonna be buying here when I know Elon is selling. So we're gonna be looking at the 900 to 1243. That's a range we break. We're talking about Tesla. I know it sounds big, but check the weekly chart. If somebody asks you, you don't know what you're talking about, tell them, go check the weekly chart and you're gonna see what I'm talking about, right? So breakup play.
How about a fib extension right there from the January highs into the March lows?
From here?
Yeah.
Here? And see how we go. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see, just for fun. So we go here. Oh my God, I think we hit the targets. No, the 200.
So when we pull back into that 127, do you consider that support at this point, or just pure reference point?
No, it's pure reference point because this is extension. So this one is based on what we just did here. Right? It's a reference point. Remember, like, one of the things with fibs is just a reference point, right? Because it's just a mathematical formula. You just get the number. I used to do this all the time when I was I don't know if I ever told you that story in my prior life, when I was a technical analyst for a Forex thing. So it's crazy how those guys trade fibs. So you do fibs inside the fibs and inside the fibs, and then they go and they do another fib, and they come right here and they do another fib, and they call it like Fibonacci clusters. So wherever there's like a ton of them, right, that's where they trade. But because in Forex, you don't have consolidation volume, right? You don't have the consolidation volume. So the way I apply it for what we do is I use the fibs, but just as a reference, because what I'm looking is like, I look for that cluster based with my volume, right? So this 127 is just a reference point. It happens to be that we tested and we bounced right there. But then I can say that, oh yeah, but that's the 8MA too. So the 8MA was support. Well, if you have an 8MA and some line based on a Fibonacci, most likely, I mean, some people may buy it right there. Again, the main point of what we do is I want to be with the big trend, right? I want to be with the big guys. So I don't care what these little guys are buying right here. I'm probably selling right here, you know, 10, 10, 30, 10, 10, 13, whatever. I don't care. What we want to make sure is that we're in the big moves, right? We want to be here when these guys are buying, accumulating, accumulating, accumulating. So to answer your question, what I'll do, what I want to see is like, this is a breakout play. We all see it sideways. We spent the whole year in this base. We broke, and now we're testing it back. Now, if we don't come and test the 912, what it means is that people are even more aggressive. They don't even want to let it fall below 1,000 or below the 950 to come and test 912. So for me, it's even more bullish. So what I want to see is like, hey, let them take, I don't know if it's going to be probably 1 week, 2 weeks, and then we start getting it for 11, 20, 11, 13, 12, 12.43 for what I care, right? Because 10% is 10%, no matter where you get it. Okay. So that's how, or that's basically what I'm seeing in the Tesla. So when you come right here, then you see, look at the volume. So we know there's actually a lot of volume right here. So we can probably have actually this alert right here. This is the reason why I look at all the charts, because I was looking at the weekly and I was telling you, no, I don't want to buy right here because there's no volume right here. But I forgot one thing. This is all-time highs. So meaning all of this volume has been made in the last 3 weeks. So I got to go into the daily, and this is where I see where all the volume was, right? So this is Elon selling, but there's a lot of people also buying from Elon. So once I start going 1108, we can see 1158 that you can see it right here, but 1200 is a go again, right? So let's put it this way, Tesla. Now we have the bigger picture, right? We have the big breakout with the pullback that we're monitoring on a weekly chart. So what we want to do here for momentum trading is going to be, we're going to take the 1100 for 1185, I think it is 1160. Yeah, for 1160. Once we go over 12, I want to take it for all-time highs. So probably it's going to be like 1350. Okay. And all I'm basing it is on this volume. I assume the more time we spend right here, the more volume is going to be done here. So the more relevant this actual base that we're building right here is gonna continue to be, the more relevant. Okay, questions, anybody? Tesla. So here's the other one, beautiful thing, Lucid. While we were trading in Lucid, guys, we were trading this monthly buy right here, 30. Then we have the 40 entry, and then we have the whatever, right? So we come right here. This is a daily breakout play with 28. I think it was Christopher that told us that when we started talking about this one, it was exactly right here, 28. So we got a bagger right here in the underlying. So how do you play it, right? So you have the 28 that day. I think it was before a hangout, but that was calling a hangout. So we have the pullback right here. Same thing to what I just explained about Tesla, right? The difference is that Tesla is at all-time highs, because this one we have that massive, crazy Wall Street bets run in here. So I don't know what's going on right there, but this is basically the same pattern that I trade, right? I want to see a breakout, clean breakout, massive volume, and then I get the pullback. I don't want to be buying right here. I want the pullback. So this is a pullback. This is your pullback entry. That's where you enter. I'm not sure if we call it last time, but this is the last time we met. And this is the next entry, right? The 41.40, 40 for 50 for 60. So here's another tradable thing. Then we have this right here. This is not tradable for me, but this break right here, 48.07. I think we had that conversation this morning when we say like, wow, if they just gap it up like at 48, 49, that would be great. They gap it a little bit too much to 50 for some reason. I don't know why. They just drop it into 48. They gave us a great entry. I think Mish made a great call, being aware that 48 was a level. I was looking, I was checking 47. When I saw it was 48, we say, hey, okay, let's see a little bit more of let's see if there's strength in there. If you don't know what strength looks like, look at this. We're doing 300 million shares of this thing today, guys. This is like 3 times the normal and like 10 times what we used to do like just a couple of weeks ago. So this thing was like massive, massive move. Where do we go from here? This is a second day play candidate, right? Why? Because of the massive volume. So we know is a momentum trade tomorrow over the highs. So over 57 targets, 60 and 65. Where do we get them? From here, guys, right? Now, when we go into the weekly chart, let me show you the weekly with the thing, right? So here's where we go. That's your 53, that's your 55, right? We have sellers right here with the Wall Street guys or Wall Street bets guys. That's where we are. So that's my reference point. My second reference point will be 63, 65. Massive volume. Okay. So that's Lucid. So Lucid is Momo for 60 and 65. Now we take the all-time highs. You know how I trade all-time highs. I don't know. I have no idea where this one can go. If I start throwing fibs right here, I don't know which one to get because for me, this is not really a pullback. So should I take it from here? It's still in an uptrend. It's just an uptrend. That's all I can say. It's an uptrend. This pullback is like 10%, nothing. So we should make new all-time highs. This pullback is like nothing, 10%. So we should make new all-time highs. So we're here and just the momentum. That's all I can say. Not much we can do right there with that one. So that's Lucid. XP, I know is about to break, right? So this one's on everybody's radar too, I know. So look at the monthly. We have massive accumulation right there at 38. Then we have accumulation at 45. This is a monthly long, 49, 42. Problem is I still need to see the volume. Volume has been so slow that we're in a squeeze. That means like the moves that we're doing still within the parameters. So we haven't exploded yet, but if we go, this is a $50 for $60. Pretty simple. We can make a 20% move right there. So write it down because that could be good for tomorrow. XPEF over 50, 40. I think I got my alert like at 51. Let me just double check. Yeah, I got my alert over 51.40, 51.50. So don't think because it's 51.50 you missed it. Please keep in mind it's $50 to $60. So you still got like, even at 51, you still got like $8 to do it. Okay. So keep alerts of 50, 40, 56, 51, 65. Why do I keep 51, 65? Because I don't know if they're going to gap it up tomorrow, right? They can gap it up to 52. And if all you know is like 50, then you're going to be like, where do I buy it at 52? Well, it's going to go to 60. So find yourself a good risk reward entry inside in the market and you can take it, right? So expect 50, 40, 51, 50, 65 for $60, target one. Then we go to FSR. FSR is an uptrend. Not much I can say about this one too. Like targets will be like 26, 28 and 32. So FSR is just momentum. Start 26, 28, 32. Fisker. And they got a second life. So Ford, I think Ford was doing like a buy setup on a daily. This is a buy setup that we call at 14 to 21. That's a 50% moving forward, right? So this is it. Done. That was the day that they gap it up, and that's the move. So now what we have is a sideways consolidation right here. Again, guys, a lot of volume down in here at all-time highs, or at least highs for, I don't know, the last 3 or 4, 5, 6 years. Quite in a long time, right? So where do we go from here? You can see my targets right here, 22 and 25, I think I have. So 2051, put it right there. What I want to see is I want to see volume. Why? Because look at this volume right here, the red one, right? So that day was really bad. It was a failed test for those of you that follow that methodology. You know how to, that the market is always tested. So basically what they're testing is supply right here. And look at the failed test right here, massive volume on the red. So you want to take this one out. Once we go over 2051, we go at least for 10%, which is like, let's call it 24, 23, 24, 26. So Ford over 20, 51, for 23, 26. Those I'll adjust once I get it. Again, if I do the fib right here, it's gonna give me like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't know if GM is also, let's put it right here with the electric vehicles because I like the monthly chart. Monthly chart needs 6430, I'm sorry, 6430. So we have the daily buy 57 and 70 targets. So this, where's the 57 right here? Yeah, around right here, around here. It's not the easier trade. What I'm looking for is we have good volume 2 days ago, try to break, not even close, 2 days on pullback. So let's watch, probably get a catalyst or something. GM over 6430, target, what do I say, 69? Is that what he's saying? Yeah, like 69.87, I think, 69. So 64 to 70, GM. How are we doing on time? 540, 640. Wow, we're running today. Okay, NEO. Let's do NEO. I do NEO. So tough to trade. This one's another one that is so hard to trade. It's it puts some green bars, like big green bars, and it looks like some days are gonna trend. I think this is the reason why so many people are scared to actually hold, because of stocks like this. You know, the patterns are not there and it's just horrible, and you hold too long and they just give it all back, and it's a lot of fakes. So my advice is don't trade them. But if you need to trade them, I think we can take 10% right there from 42.50 to 46 NEO as a range. So put it as a range, so you know you're in a range. So anybody at any point you can get hit. So 42.50 for 46, right? That applies to any stock basically. At any point you can get hit, but especially if you're in a range. Once you go over 48, we go 55. Over 48, 455. That's NEO. Then I have a list that I label IBD 50s, and it includes net, which continues just powering up. Missed the entry right here. Have you ever traded this one, Kyle? I'm not sure if we even need to keep this one. Well, I'll check it intraday and see if we can put it, but yeah, UPST, UPST. Upstart, I'm sorry. So with Upstart, let's see what happened to Upstart, because I think it was looking great. The weekly, the daily chart, the monthly chart was long. We went 130 to 400 bucks. So that's quite a lot. Remember what Roku did, remember what Piton did, remember what all of those things. I don't know what Upstart will do. I think this is the one that funds small businesses. It's like funding too, I think it is. So basically what we have is like 401, try to break, right? So this is a pattern we don't want to see, especially this is actually a great example, right? You have all the volume right here. You have the break, should continue going higher. The moment you start getting into here, you got to get into trouble. So now you're inside a range, right? So this is a range 350 to 290. Earnings, bad earnings, gap down, no pullback, big volume, but not massive volume. So not capitulation. When you come right here, you can see some volume right here at the 220. Actually, I like this one as a short. On the 220, guys, on the 220 for 171, target 1. So UPST under 220 for, yeah, 172, which is the 200 MA, okay? And then if we get lucky, we go 130, 150, 130 and 150. Like I say, I don't know technicals and stuff like that, because at times I want to know a little bit more, especially when I'm shorting, so that I can hold a little longer. But yeah, just this momentum. I think once we start losing this little base right here, so the way I want to see it is I want to see like big volume tomorrow, right? Like 228, like 216 would be a better entry. I'm going to put it right here. 223. The main thing, guys, especially when shorting, is you got to be faster covering than the longs. Like you see me, I'm long and I don't care sometimes to be too close as long as I see volume, right? The reason, again, that I give some of the people I coach, and we coach with Kyle and we give him all the time, is like you have to understand the difference between stocks going up and stocks going down. For stocks to go up, you need volume. You need buyers. So you can read that action, right? You can see the volume. You can see, oh, this one's running. Is it running on volume? I like it. Okay, hang on. Not a big deal. They're buying, they're paying up for the thing. When you're going down, if you do momentum, yes, you want to see the short sellers with you. So if you get the break, which people love to see it, I love to take a break right at the break, right? If I see it, I have to be first in, to be honest, so that I can have the rest of the guys just push it down for me so that I can cover. Because the next thing is like, if they stop selling, the thing can, like on any buying, can stop going up. And then you think it's going up and then you just stop buying. And then just on selling, on absence of buyers, you can stop going down again. You can, so it begins the whole cycle. So at times you see things going down on no volume, right? If that's a good thing, I don't know. There's a saying that says never short a dual market. So I use it too for stocks. So shorting dual stocks, I'm like, you're a little too late on that short, or, you know, sometimes I see posts and I'm like, wow, I'm not sure I want to be buying down. I mean, shorting down there, unless there's like massive shorting going on. So that's a little thing of what we do. So OPST, I want to see volume. I want to see the shorts. These guys with the red bar hitting it hard, 227, as long as they're there with me, I don't care. I can hold that short. So that's a short. DDOG, which is Datadog. So the problem with this one is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months in a row going up from 80 to 200 bucks. So what I want to see is like massive breakout. That's what I want. We're so far from accumulation. We're so far from everything. We're so far from references points. We're building this one right here, which is pretty good, which I like. So that's the only reason why I'm going to keep it right here. So I want to see a break over 200, and then we hit 220 and 240. So Datadog over 200, 220, 240. This is one where, like, how do you determine if this one is the one that you want to go like crazy with massive size, maximize your account, you know, mortgage your house so you can scalp it. Check how many bars you have in a row. Check how long the accumulation is, right? Like people won't buy Lucid at 28, but they will buy millions of shares of Datadog at 201. Doesn't make any sense, right? Like your risk reward is like you buying something that has been running for 7 months instead of something that is being accumulated for the whole year. So that's the thing I want people to start thinking about. Where you buying, where you locating. That doesn't mean it's not going to go. It's not going to go, because if it gets like some news or something, it's going to go. So by all means, but like as far as like the moment in time decision that you got to go like, okay, it's 201. How many do I buy? And where do I dump it? It has to be like relative to where we are. I talk all the time where we are, right? C-scaler, good run. We have a good red bar here negated at 300. So that's bullish. That's what you want to see. Like some people try to short it right here after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, try to short it. They got trapped and now we go higher, right? So this one is actually quite nice. 2 months up. Let me see the weekly chart right here. My God, so many Yeah, it's coming. 11. Oh, that's 12. Too close. I think we can run. We can run 360, 380. Keep it simple. CS 360, 380. And we have the earnings on December 1st. I think it is. CrowdStrike. I think that was in the news today, right? Or last night. I don't know. CRWD. And we have it as a watch, possible second day play breakdown. Didn't, by the way, it has a tail. Somebody should have told me that one. Yep, we have a tail yesterday. So it looks like it held. So CrowdStrike, probably over 300. I want to be in that one for a momentum trade. Now, where can we get it? Like based on this bar, I can probably scalp it 272 for 280. So CRWD as a trap, 272 to 280. And then we take it from there, like 300. Once we break 300 is a breakup play. Just in case, we've seen so many times, guys, that these things go for 273 and then you just don't stop. And you just, next thing we know is like 330. So that's why I keep like alerts all day. So I won't miss them. I hate missing those big moves. Team, still trading that one, Kyle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I haven't in a while now.
You haven't, right? Yeah, it's like 7 months. I look at the tough one. I'm gonna just leave it up. Upwork, you haven't traded that one, right? Nah, I think that one's just like, nah. No call. Fastly, we have it. If I don't see it, I'm calling Wolf. We used to have that one. High short interest, that's what it is. We got earnings coming. This was interesting, 26 to 28, but we have the earnings. Yep, 2 days from now. So yeah, 26 to 28, 29, Wolf earnings. Earnings coming. SFIX, I don't know if we're trading that one anymore. AMAT, I think it was mentioned not too long ago. We have earnings coming. I like them. I like the monthly. Oh, the monthly. Yeah, we have that one. Now I remember. The green one right here, 146. So it's gone. It's gone. Well, we have the earnings. So let me see if we have to wait for the earnings. Absolutely. Monthly setup looks good, but I don't see an entry right here that we can take. So AMAT, Shui, check that monthly. So another one, 20 to 120. My God, 600% pull back. So let's do some FIP right here, just for fun, from 20 to 120. Let's see how much we trace. 50%, 61.8%. I'll tell you guys, it's not a crystal ball. You just have to do the work, right? So we came and we stopped right there at the 61.8%, which is 59.75. So look at that, $59.60 for a reversal trade. Anyways, so where do we go from here? Shui. We got the volume right here. We back over BWAP. I'm sorry, over point of control, 81.12. I think I have my alert right there, 82. I want to see regaining 82 for 90, which is like right here, 90 and 96. Let's look at Shui over 80. CHWI over 80, over 81, 50, over the 200 MA, 490 and 100. Not my favorite. I haven't traded this one in a while too. Then we have power, guys. Power. Who's trading power? F cell, fuel cell. look at the monthly, and that's what we've been calling, I think it is. So this is a pullback into support right here, 905, at least some accumulation right here. I don't know what they do. Fuel cells. So this is the break we want, 1281, right? The 1281 for 20. So let's go to the weekly. Let's see if there's any developments right there. Right there, it's a weekly 1, 2, 3. Not really, we don't have the volume right here. We may have the volume once we break 1252. Let me just do this so I don't forget about this. Do it there. So next time we're meeting, you remember that we call this one, right? So 1250. I think we go 19 and 20. Yeah. Or you can call it 1550 and 1963. F cell over 1262, 1560, 20. Let me just double check so this volume right here was red. It's coming up. You see the volume, it's coming up. So one day it will give us a surprise. So basically we have this. That was news. I think it was the news for Biden that everything in alternative energies started running. So this is sort of a new uptrend, new daily uptrend forming right here. We have one higher high, higher low. One, yeah, sort of that. So we need the 1260. I want to see it. I want the 12. So I'll let you know, guys, if we start seeing 12, so we can be ready, because probably the day that we break the 12, we got to go like 1350. So 1260 is not my target. 1260 is my breakout point, which is a big difference there. Okay. So let me go with plug, which I was looking as a 1, 2, 3 2 days ago. It didn't trigger. Volume was not there. It's not really a good 1, 2, 3. So I don't know what I was calling that one. So 45. Just a momentum trade. 45 for 50. Plug. Pure momentum. First Solar. I don't trade these ones, but I know some of you guys follow them. So pattern, I don't really like it, because when you have like a massive sideways, you see the range, you make a new low right here. So we broke the range, and then here we broke, and then we broke again. So we went back into the area of the range, and then try to break again and back into the range. So I think it's too much news driven, or I don't know what's going on with those. SPWR. Some power. Over 35 momentum. We have the monthly bar over 27, so that already triggered. So I think it was here, 27. So that's a monthly buy. Come right here. That's the monthly buy. Very aggressive entry right there. So SPWR, momentum 35.50. Then we have blank, BLNK. See you, D. Good job today, man. Be ready for tomorrow. So BLNK, massive volume. Past the earnings, past everything, 47. I think the main chart is going to be the monthly. Let me see the weekly pretty fast right here. Yeah. Only thing I don't like is how we got there. Like we have like 1, 2, no recess, but this is big. I think I'm going to take the high entry, the 47.61. So 47.65 for 55. BLNK. 47. I want them to show me strength. Basically, that's what I mean by that. Sometimes I buy support and resistance, right? Sometimes it makes sense to buy at a discount. Sometimes you don't want to pay discount. You want to get the best price, right? Even if you have to pay a little more higher, because what you're looking for is for the market to confirm, and then you react, which is basically momentum trading, which is what we do, right? Let's see CHPT, charge point. There was accumulation right there, 24, between 20 and 24. So that's a 20% move right there, 20 and 24. Where do we go from here? We can take 28.30, 28.30, 32 is my best guess. So let's put CHPT over 28 for 30 and 32. Not bad. It's 28. So that's almost like, what is it? Like a 15%. That could be done in a day. Nowadays with these stocks, guys, they can easily do M-Phase. We used to watch this one. I like the setting in the daily. Look at the breakout play that we have on a monthly. We're testing the break point, which is 240. So I think 255 on a Momo can work. M-Phase, EMPH month over 255. That's 275, 300. Okay, it's 10% and 20 easily. Energies, my Pan W, yeah, but Palo Alto, that's tomorrow, right? Yeah, that's a big run too. Okay, Disney, what do you want to short Disney, man? Look at the monthly. What's your target for a short? $53? I don't know, man. I don't know. This is massive volume. I'd rather watch this thing when we start going over, right? I think the news is out. I don't like it. I'm not going to buy it. Never go to Disneyland. I don't like Mickey Mouse. Not at all. Not buying that thing that they're going to dethrone Netflix. Nobody's going to do it. Not even Apple. Nobody can do it. But the short right there, 158, I'd rather wait for 153 and buy it, to be honest, and watch it. Okay. Watching 150. Yeah, you got to, yeah. I mean, it can go 140 too. Okay. Let's look. Travel. Should we do some travel? Boeing. My God, this stock is horrible. I've been waiting for that 240 to 300 like forever. So all we can do is 220 for 240, which is pretty much the same trade the whole year. Horrible price action. Yesterday gave us some news, so they gap it up. Well, next day they take it from you. So yeah, 235, 240, 240, 250, 250, 260, 260, 270. I'm not kidding you. Guys, that's what I have. 240, 250, 250, 260, 260, 270. Delta. Not liking it. Not liking the chart. I don't see a pattern right there, guys. AAL, same thing. I think I'm gonna skip these things for now because I don't want to short them coming into the holiday season, right? But I don't want to buy them. Airbnb, I know that one. Like probably people will be still traveling by car. So this one right there, 220, 212. 230, 212, 220, 230. So Airbnb. Expedia, I know they have verbal. I didn't know that. We call that a tradable range right there, 175, 192. It was a daily base. We're still here trying to break out of the monthly chart. No, it's not as clear because I have, sorry, let me move this here. There you go. So this is what we have, right? We have a massive move, pullback into sort of the area. We have the volume of 140, and then we just tested the new all-time highs or whatever highs, 188. So now that becomes my range, which is 192, but I don't want to see it like falling too much. So I want to keep it like 175. Why? From the daily base, and that's where we have the news. I think it was last week that we have a massive gap up, and then we run for 2 days. That was enough. So now we have a range right here, and we have a tradable range 175, 190 for Expedia. I'm sort of bullish. What I want to see is I want to see some volume right here. So let's say you see my alert right there, 180, because I was thinking on yesterday. So I'm going to start putting alerts like 178. And if I start seeing like some green that supports the move that we have from earnings, I'll be like, okay, they were just buying in here. They got trapped, whatever. They took the profits, the easy profits right here, because these guys went from 150 to 200. It's 30% in 2 days. So probably this profit taken. And I know when I evaluate the gaps, that's one of the things that you gotta take into account. Where are they gapping it, right? People will take profits. Believe me, people will take profits. Airbnb, Express, CCL. No versus 16, RCL. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the gambling either. What else do we have, guys? High shorting interest. We're going to do the, Kyle, do you have anything? Oh, let's do
that
Snap.
Might be a wrap pretty soon here.
Yeah, Snap, because we're looking at that one. I saw some sweeps. I'm not that good with that one. So when I see them, I just put it there. February 75 calls, April 70 calls on 11/10 sweeps. That was the day that I see it. So that was like 6 days ago, 7 days ago, like around here, and they were sweeping it. So what I'm looking is probably a 58 to 60, 64 as a reversal, guys. Okay. Yep. Massive
one
drop.
in the sweeps documented in the topic section too.
You have those? Okay, cool. So yeah, the Snap could be a good reversal watch. At least this is why. Look at the volume. So there was a lot of volume going here. Like 54 is your absolute stop. 53, 53, 90. You can stop it right there. So now we're probably trying to break 57.20. So 57.20, 59, and 60 is not bad. Over 57. I like these ones like for days where I don't have a lot of things. So I put an alert and probably triggers like a 9:45 a.m. So you can probably take it. Those are the ones that you don't know where it moved, but it just moved like midday out of the blue. So you want to wrap it? I think I'm good with that too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for your time. Awesome job. I think we're getting better and better as a team. Every day the people are making better calls and calling the important stuff in the charts. So that's awesome. Triple BY is a reversal. Oh no, that's not a reversal. What are we doing? That's a high short. I think we wanted the 25. I want the 2580, Benny. That's where I have most of my alerts. 25 for $30 and then 34. Yep. Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Maya.
Good luck.